Hello, this is RDU98.5 FM, and you're listening to the Roll Britannia show. I believe we've got Griffin on the line. Are you there, Griffin?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you. This is Griffin Anthony, everyone who's listening from America. Griffin is an amazing artist and does some amazing music. Griffin, can you tell me about the kind of style that you do and what's, why and what sort of interests you?
First of all, thanks so much for having me on the show.
Oh, thanks for being here.
And for the last 12 or 13 years, I've made a living professionally as a songwriter. And I say songwriter just because quite often you're writing in different styles for different purposes, I guess.
Sure.
If I think of myself and switch gears as an artist, I kind of toe the line between country, pop, soul.
Yeah. I'm
inspired by a lot of the music that was popular, I guess, in an older age. I'm not too into the music that's on current, I guess, top 40 radio these days.
I don't think anyone is, are they? To be honest.
I mean, somehow that shit's getting played. I don't know. But I know you guys are a bit different, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Cheers to you.
Yeah, RDU is an awesome station. We do have some amazing DJs, and obviously you guys have been in lockdown for a long time. And what was your last gig?
Yeah, so probably the first week of March.
Wow.
I went from working pretty much every other night,
sure.
or a bunch, to nothing. And then since March, there's been probably 6 or 7 that are socially distanced and outdoors.
Yeah.
And we've gone about it safely, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's a bit different, and aside from live streams and interviews and all that, just a handful of live gigs.
Yeah, because your shows all sell out. You're very, very popular, and it's great music for obvious reasons. And they always sell out, which is really cool. So you were supposed to be. Tell me if I'm right. You originally could be a football player.
Baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah,
sorry.
Oddly enough, it was what paid for university for me. So it was a means to kind of get to the next level of my life and education and whatnot. My dad played professionally, and baseball was very much a part of my childhood. But university almost felt like you were majoring in baseball after a while, and it kind of just music kind of was the opposite of that. It was different types of people.
Yeah, especially in America.
It's like on one hand you have that like super competitive machismo.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, it's
there's that Damon Wade you got to watch out for.
I
hear he's pretty good.
That's a really cool connection of how we're doing this right now.
Yeah.
Via Damon Wade and Sarah Wade.
So for those who are listening, I've actually met Griffin Anthony a couple of times, sort of briefly. Griffin used to rent an apartment that my sister and brother-in-law own, and and I was just talking to my sister the other day, and actually wishing her a happy birthday, Sarah, if you're listening.
Happy birthday, Sarah.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, so who you've got for your first show to interview? I said, Iggy Pop's not answering my messages. I've got no one. She said, and literally what I was saying, I said, no. She goes, I said, do you know anyone? She said, Griffin. I mean, yes, Griffin.
Oh.
So yeah, she's a bit of a dude, that one. So here we are, and it's a lovely connection. It's really cool that that years later you wouldn't have thought that we were going to talk to each other via the other side of the world on the radio. It's quite cool, that kind of stuff.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I'm so thankful for this coming about. And Sarah and Damon have been so kind to me and really gave me an opportunity to live somewhere when I was like, listen, this is my budget. You could probably get more for this apartment, but this is what I have, and I'm between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
And they somehow accepted that, and it's just amazing. And through them, I've met so many other great musicians.
Yeah. And
I mean, heck, that house, which is like I could be completely off. It's like a 1940s maybe 3-story house in Bethel, Connecticut.
Yeah.
And when I moved back up here from living in Florida, Damon, Sarah's husband, he's a blues musician and music teacher and a great guitar player. And I was living on the second floor, and then on the third floor,
the
Matt? Drummer that I tour with, Matt.
Yeah,
Matt, who is still
there.
Is still a very big part of my life, and it was all thanks to Sarah and Damon.
Yeah,
sure.
They're cool cats. I'm pretty
happy
lucky.
Happy birthday to Sarah.
Yeah,
and cheers. Yeah.
So, are you able to play us a song, Griffin?
I mean, I can. I found I almost hate to even put up any kind of breaks towards that, but like in the last year, I've learned that anytime we do something via phone, it sounds so tinny and it sounds really cruddy.
You don't want to do it?
I don't know. I'm hesitant to do it just because I've listened back to so many interviews to where like it's all via the phone and it just sounds like my hand is over my mouth and I'm trying to sing, you know. I'll tell you this. I will promise you, if I have my mic set up and we can do it via FaceTime or Zoom or something like that,
sure,
to really get a nice audio signal, I'll play as many songs for as long as you want, whenever you want.
Okay.
On command.
That's all right. Well, I've got some of your songs lined up anyway to play after this interview. Who are you listening to at the moment? Who's sort of you really enjoying at the moment?
These days I'm listening to a lot of the same stuff that inspires me from years back. There's really a small handful of contemporary artists that I'm into.
Yeah.
And then the rest are all kind of a throwback to Van Morrison.
Nice.
And Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
And I love John Prine. And I love Bill Withers.
Yeah.
And in this past year we lost John Prine and we lost Bill Withers. Two just amazing artists that I've listened to so much. I feel like they're like my grandpas.
Lovely.
In a way.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm staring at my record collection right now.
But you've got heaps of records.
I just got Laura Marling's new record, and it's still in the plastic. I haven't listened to it yet.
Whose record,
I'm
sorry?
really excited to listen to that.
Who was it?
Laura Marling.
Oh, okay. Have you heard of any?
She's brilliant.
Yeah. Have you looked into any New Zealand artists, the likes of Marlon Williams or Delaney Davison?
Not enough. Not enough. I'm not as familiar with them as I should be, but if we can communicate and you just give me a list of your favorite New Zealand artists, and I will just actively jump in head first.
Yeah.
And
son of a true music fan.
To be honest with you, the last album that I listened to was Flight of the Conchords.
Classic. That's a goodie.
In New Zealand.
Yeah. They're pretty funny. What's one of your most favourite places that you've played? Your favourite gig that stands out, and that you just thought, oh yeah, that was a brilliant gig for whatever reasons, the atmosphere, the people. What's one of your favourite standout gigs that you've done?
I'd have to say probably the Wani Music Festival down in northern Florida. This was maybe 2011 or 2012, and it was just a really exciting time where I felt naively overly confident, and I was a lot more willing, I guess, to take liberties and risks on stage, and it was just a crude way of touring and traveling and playing shows, and it was less about the bottom line with money, and it was more about just playing, and it was just a really fun time, and that was great because there was a ton of people, and I was on the bill with some of my heroes. The festivals have been really fun, and I played a lot of those, I guess, further back around that 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012 era, before I kind of got into more of songwriting in the back end of the music industry.
Nice.
Yeah.
I actually have a music festival over in Banks Peninsula called the Banks Peninsula Music Festival. We've got 10 bands over 2 stages. It's a shame there's a COVID, because we could have you over. You'd be amazing. You'd fit in perfectly at my festival. So maybe one day.
I would love that.
One day when it's all COVID's all out, you have to fly back over, bring Sarah and Damon, and we'll plan it so it's for the festival. You can come play at my festival.
Oh my gosh, I would be honored. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, it'd be totally cool. Hey, Griffin.
When is it? What time of year is it?
The first one is the 20th of February, so in 7 weeks exactly. And we've got some amazing artists, Delaney Davison, The Butlers, Pieces of Molly, Middle. Cool. Just basically music that I like listening to. I might be the only one there having a great time, but it's lots of variety and food and wine, and just a really lovely day out. It's in a big beautiful park, which is a historical park. So but I was just saying, all the bands that are coming to the festival, I said there's no egos, there's no everyone's actually really lovely, and we all agree to it. So it's just a really nice group of people, and we're really looking forward to it. It should be loads of fun. But it'd be great to have you out, and definitely when this all goes better and you guys can fly again, we'll definitely have you out for the day.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. Griffin, thank you so much for talking to me. It's an absolute honour to have you on my show. There's one last thing I can ask you to do, and because we're in the studio, could you do a shout out to the Roll Britannia show? So sort of introduce yourself. This is Griffin Anthony at RDU98.5FM on the Roll Britannia show. And then we can tape it, and then I can play it throughout my show throughout the year. Sure.
Hi, this is Griffin Anthony, and you're listening to the Roll Britannia show on RDU 98.5 FM.
That was beautiful. That was great. We could just sit here all day and you could just do it different styles for us.
Cool.
Griffin, thank you so much for being on my show. Absolute pleasure. I'm going to play Calco Queen now, so people can listen to that. So go on to Instagram. Griffin's on Instagram, website. Check him out. He's an amazing American artist.
Thanks.
I highly recommend him, and also just a nice person to hang out and talk to. Have a great rest of the evening, and I will, we'll speak again, I'm sure.
Well, thank you so much for having me. That sounds great. Thank you so much for a wonderful interview, and please send me a bunch of really great New Zealand artists.
I will.
I would love that. So
cool, wonderful.
Thank you, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye, Griffin.